Hey guys, I got some ones that we're pretty familiar with. Just want to show how several of these now. We know this one's magnetic already, showed it quite a few times. This one too. But this was actually the first face stone that I found, and I realized this was a real thing. And I had faces on both sides of it. I quickly realized that, you know, hey, some things by chance, but others by design. I remember reaching out to Paleo Mountain Man about this. You can see the carvings for the eyes. We would have never expected it, right? I never expected it either. This one has a few different eyes on it. One is carved in right here. You can still see the lines for it. One's got a crystal pack in it, but also magnetic. Pretty neat. This birdstone as well. It's magnetic as well. Big deal. Big deal, right? I think it's pretty cool though. So you can see that this perhaps was an old spear point, but it has been turned into a face effigy. It has the same motifs on it that a lot of them do. This one has a nose with a nostril and an eye carved in. Also has a smaller face as well. So I drank a little coffee tonight. I tried to quit the coffee for a while, but decided to have a cup tonight. And I'm a little bit shaky because of it. So you can see the all tucked in version, what we've been calling all tucked in. And a little profile image on the edge there. Several of them actually. There's a very small one too down here. Pretty neat. If you look closely, you can see the details and little lines coming out for the larger eye there. But pretty neat one. So we picked up some more today, or well, maybe not today, but yesterday. This big old mammoth. So I'm noticing, watching other people's videos, that a lot of times the mammoths come in more than one mammoth most of the time. When you have like a bigger stone. Not most of the time, geez, nothing's most of the time with this art. Really, it's something different a lot of the times, but this is a herd of mammoths. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling. Just wanted to show you guys some of the new stuff that I gathered. These are some old ones, but this one right here, it's really neat. So I found a bunch of these red ones. You guys might have seen the short. And I think, I'm not positive, but I think it may represent a frog as the whole image. I'm not exactly sure, but definitely has some really cool red paint on it. I left a couple more out there, but it's a lot like the gateway style pieces, except it is red. I'm seeing a surface image of a person here on the inside of the stone. Very pretty one anyway. But look at the marking on the back there. For some reason, it just reminds me of like a poison dart frog or something. See that? How like the legs would be right here? Not sure, but I might be wrong. I have been wrong before. But you can see how we have the ledge eye that we've seen before. And in these stones that I found in this area, there seems to be a little bit of a different, sorry for the focus here, trying to keep it going for us. There we go. Seems to be a motif of like a longer nose, kind of like a crazy horse style nose, kind of longer and square. So I'm going to show you those. We got a new large woman statue here. And on the other side, it is the man with that, I guess I'm going to call it crazy horse nose. But the man with the longer nose here. Sorry, my phone is kind of messing up. I just did some kind of weird setting on it. I'm not sure what it did. But go ahead and tilt him up a little bit and see if we can get the portrait of this woman here correct. So of course, you know, we're looking away. And all this back here is the hair. Almost like the Sphinx type where you can hide the hair and then bring the face back out. Really got the light set up for smaller stones. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. So this is that long nose that I'm talking about, kind of the squarish nose. Got some of these more wild faces as well. There's that shelf eye again. Looks like there's going to be two of them. Always a little indentation for the lips. Little totem fella. On the back he has that horse bird. Also just looking at the portrait as well, it's just a portrait too. Look closely, you can see the lines for the eye, the pupil. So you see where the eye is, you look for the nose, and then you look for that little tiny ripple for the lips. And you'll find it every time. It's a pretty nice one. Neat little small one. Some plaquette style. So you're seeing your eye right here. And as we tilt it, it's also a large eye right here on the forehead, or on the headdress. You can see how that's working out there. Very cool, very pretty. Quite the artists. So this is the first time I've looked at these. And like I said, I don't look at these on my own. There's your eye. Kind of do this with you guys. It looks like the eye on the headdress perhaps. Give him a tilt and see what we can see. See, he's got that crazy horse nose. There's also a statue of the woman with the hair. You can always tell when you see that hair there. Pretty neat. There's a lot of images on this. These are gateway style pieces. This one's not. This one's a different type. I think we already saw this one before. Yep. That shelf eye is a common theme in this art, where they put the eye right under the shelf. There. Take a look at some of these. These are brand new. You know, the actual color of the stone is this white. Some of these are really preserved quite nicely. I am pulling them out of clay packs. They're packed in balls of clay. Sometimes the balls of clay are fired. Really not making out the portrait perfectly, but it's also because I have the light in a specific way. Big bird head. These are puzzles, so it takes a little while to unlock. If you guys see things that perhaps I'm missing, I think I'm seeing 3 portraits here. You know, throw it in the comments, let me know. A lot of times I'll watch these afterwards to see how the video came out, and I can see more. You're seeing these carvings for eyes, and as we tilt it, the facial features will come out, become more defined. Some of this stuff is very heavy and also very sharp. That's what's got my geologist friend a little perplexed by this. He says, you know, forget about all the images and everything, but the fact that some of these have extremely razor sharp edges and the rest of them are rounded and softened. He says that's something that is not normal. Here we have a bird. Nice easy one. Flip it over, it is the duck head. Look closely where the eye would be on this duck head. You will probably be able to see it. And then the same thing on the full bird. You see how this angle here, that's a guide. You can turn that like this. can see the round eye there. A lot of times these angles are guides. These are our 3D statues. There's another very large shelf eye. So you can see the lines in here, maybe like a stick figure. I think that one's coming out pretty well. There's your full bird, probably. These angles, you can line them up. This is how you look at the art. They're pretty crafty, and they did have little guides in the art to show you how to look at it. Almost through. You know, this is the research that we do. Like I said, I don't look at these by myself, so just bringing you guys along for the ride with me. The camera also helps me to be able to see some of the things that are on these. So this is the portrait of the woman with the hair. You normally, whenever you see that, you can tilt her. You can see how the eye right there. So you know where the nose is. You see the furthest point, and you try to look for that eye. See how the rest of the stone is all smooth until you get up to the top here with these many eyes. And here's another crazy horse nose. Maybe not. Looking for him, but I don't see him. There he is. Perhaps. All right, guys. Got a whole lot more out here. And I guess we can take a look at a few more if you're into it. We're already at 18 minutes. But some of these are pretty neat. So maybe we'll just take a look at a few more real fast here. So we know this woman's statue here. It's kind of what she resembles. I'm going to show you another one here. So this one has portraits on both sides. One on the left here, and one on the right. You can see the circle for her eye. So a larger portrait here. You know, you're finding the most poked out portion as the nose. You know where the nose is, so you look for the eyes and the mouth. This face stone seems to be all about the ladies. So there's a portrait here in this section, and then another portrait in the bottom, just in the black there. And as you tilt her, you'll be able to see that there's a little carving for an eye, little nose pokes out, and a little crack for those lips. All the rest of that is a lot of hair. Really like this one. It's a pretty nice one. Can't really wash these off too much because they are painted. So stay tuned, guys. We got some big things coming up. You know, these repeating motifs and all these painted stones are something that our state archaeologist, or our assistant to state archaeologist, Mr. David Cranford, isn't really going to be able to ignore for too much longer. And I'm going to keep on working and showing these off so that you guys know about it. And until then, bye-bye.